Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another class. I hope you all enjoyed our holiday and how many people brought RAM and how many people ate RAM during the holiday. Nobody ate RAM. Wow, it's all right. So far, so good. I must say, most of us are really getting familiar with what is being taught in class. While grading, I was really impressed with your submission. And I must say that is good. So if you're ready for today's class, please send in your favorite emoji on the chat. Ram is out of our reach. All right. Only one person that is from here. Okay. Okay, well done, guys. Welcome to class. Last week we said by understanding wireframes under the idea stage, we did some practical, we explored using Figma. So today we are going to be looking at elements of design. Please, my meeting, change your names from my meeting to your real name. Okay. Elements of design are fundamental aspects of a visual design. They include shape, color, space, value, texture, typography, line. They are essential building blocks for a visual design. They form the foundation of creating user interface and user experience design. Designers, graphics designers, UI UX designers use elements to convey mood, draw users' attention to a certain direction, and also invoke feelings. So with elements, elements is, Tiwa, please stop stop writing on my screen. Yeah. So we have 7 elements of design. So like I mentioned earlier, so we're going to be looking at shape, color, space, lines, value, and texture. So for shapes are two-dimensional area that is surrounded by an outline. Yeah, so you have your square, your rectangle, your circle, and all that. So shapes are formed with lines, color, value, shadows to give an appearance. Basically, we have 3 types of shape, but when we go in depth, we'll be able to understand each of them. So we have organic shapes. This shape just represents a natural world. Then we have geometric. They are more like angular, mathematical, consistent shape like elements. Then we have abstract. They look like real. They look like nature, but they're not really represented. They're not really represented well. So I'm going to shapes. I used to define buttons. You have a button here, you see a button here. They also used to represent icons, navigation, and just the entire layout of your design of a product. For instance, a circle button promotes friendliness, like an application most times to just convey information to users. Most often, they use circles that circular in shape, and for square button, they use it to convey stability, like a professional website and all that, something they don't want to like be all playful and all that. They use square buttons to convey their information. Looking at this image that we have below, you see that this card here is made up of shape. So you have like an outer rectangle, then you have an inner rectangle. You also have like a circle where the food is presented. Then you have a shape too that contains the title and the brief explanation of the product. We're going to be looking at lines. So lines are just, some people actually refer to line as dots, connection of dots. So lines are, a line refers to a way that 2 points in space are connected. And from here to here, you know, it's just like a line. From here to here is also a line. You can actually say this is a shape. Like I said earlier, so lines form shape, colors form shape, and all that. So if you look at this card, so it's made up of lines. You have a line here, you have a line here, and all that. So you have thick line, thin line, and also wavy lines. Each of them convey different information. And lines also help to like give direction to your users. Especially when we are doing our user flow, use thick lines for our forward direction and dotted lines for our backward direction. So it's one of the basic elements of design that you're going to be using for your design. Then we have color. So color helps like establish a mood for composition. Colors are used by designers to portray light, depth, and also points of view. When we start in our design system, we're able to like understand each color and know the role that they play in a product. So we have different characteristics of colors, where we have the hue. We also have the tints, the shades, and also we have the tone. So each of them have their characteristics and the role that they play. So for the hue is more like a purest form of a color that nothing has been added to, like no white is added, no black is added, no gray is added. So a good example of a hue color is magenta, green, and cyan. Yeah, cyan, sorry. So these colors are just in their purest form, like, yeah, just in their purest form, nothing has been added. Then we also have shades. So this color is more like addition of black. The color that you have added black on, it's like, okay, this is a shade. The moment I add black to this red here, I've made a shade of it. The color becomes darker. Then we also have tints. Tints is where you add like a white color to a hue color, like a purest form of a color. When you now add white, you actually give this lightish color to the texture of the color. They also have tone. So the tone is actually when you add a gray color to another color. It makes the color to look mute and also moody or dirty. So when we go in depth with our color wheel and all that, we're able to like understand each of the color and the role they play, and also how to like generate our own color. We're going to be making use of our color wheel. The color wheel helps designers to set guidelines for mixing, combining, manipulating colors to create color scheme. Before I move forward, I think I'm talking too much. Does anyone have any questions so far? Any question? No question. That means we are all on the same page. So colors are used to set mood and tone, and also establish hierarchy and brand identity for a product. For example, you can actually say that blue color are used to convey stability, trust, confidence, and calmness. Then actually give example like social media, like Facebook, use the color blue to like for their brand identity. Then we have the color red. It is to convey passion, energy, power, determination, immediacy. They also have a green for growth, calm, nature, balance, safety, and all that. So every color have its own psychology. Before you use a color in your product, you must be able to like understand the kind of information the color conveys to your users before you make use of it. Then we have space. So making a proper space in your product can help reduce clustering elements, and also help for your product to breathe, and also help for your users or your viewers to see the design as intended. So just imagine on this page, I have a whole lot of text, a whole lot of images. It might be very overwhelming for you to like understand what is actually going on. So white space or negative space. So in design, we'll call this white space. So the space around here, you can see my mouse. The space between here, the space between this text and this text is referred to as a negative space or white space. So it's actually like a space between or around elements on a product. White space actually helps to like provide breathing room for elements and also enhance readability and prevent cluster. Ample white space makes information seem less overwhelming, while email space can actually create a sense of urgency. Then we actually have a good example here. So this is like a card, but we'll actually look at other design later with Dribble. So looking at this design, if I just have a whole lot of text clustered around, you might not really be able to like understand the kind of information I'm trying to pass. That is why it's always advisable to like add white space to your design. Look at here, there's a space from the large rectangle to the small one. There's also like a space across. There's also a space, even for the title and the brief explanation, there's space in between so that the elements or the text will actually breathe, so that it'll be easier for you to like read and understand. Then we have texture. So texture is used to represent how an object appears or feels in the product. It actually adds depth and visual interest, creating more realistic and immersive experience to your product. Subtle texture like fabrics pattern can actually add warmth to your product. Most times for when you go to like some design, just the way the way that the elements are laid, the way that the texture of the design is, you'll be able to like appreciate the design because of the texture. Most times you're looking at it, looking like something that is out of this world. Just a matter of the way that the element is being laid and structured. Then we also have so this is a good example. So can somebody tell me the one that is better? This is a pricing card. So we have two cards here. They have the same content but different texture. So you can tell me why one that is better and why. Let me please confirm that you can hear me. Dami.
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. I was asking for someone to tell me the one that is better between the two cards on my screen. I can't see anybody. So I just
The
want
second one is better. The second one is better.
Please, before you speak, raise up your hand, then I'll call you. Yeah. That's, okay. EK. Please, which is better? EK, if you can hear me, unmute your mic and speak.
Hello.
You can speak.
Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Good evening, ma'am. The first one is better because I see no reason why, for me, why you want me to select a plan and you're putting it at the end of at the bottom of what you want me, the action you want me to take.
Okay.
So that's my take on it. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, EK. Econ. Econ. Okay, he's not here.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, I think that the second one is better
Okay, thank you so much.
because it gives you options and then it highlights the choice what you're supposed to choose after you have gone through the options. It looks and appears better.
Okay, thank you. And Tosin.
Good evening, ma. Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Yes, ma. I think the first one is better, but no, sorry, pardon, please. The second one is better, but I'm not really comfortable with the select plan that is being placed down because it's supposed to be placed at the top. Though the price has a kind of a white space, which is more comfortable. But I don't see any reason why the select plan is being shifted to down. Instead of doing that, I think they should just reduce the size of the shape and have a better white space there.
All right, thank you. There are like 7 more people who want to answer. All right. I'll just give us time to answer. Please let us make it fast. So Samuel. Okay, Samuel is not here.
Sorry, just like the two other persons have said and I've said earlier, the second one is better. I'm looking at the arrangement. It gave you the description and before the select plan. I think personally is better. The spacing is not really the problem. The other one also has space. The first one also has space as before the description. So I think the second one is better.
Thank you. And because of time, let me just answer it. So the first one, it's bad, but it's just that before I'll be able to like select a plan, I should be able to see what the plan entails. So if I'm selecting a plan and I've not seen the benefit of selecting this plan, it's not really structured well. So I actually go with the second one because I need to see what it entails, read it through, understand if I'm able to select it. Selecting this one before going over here is really not user friendly. So that's why the second one is better. Is that clear? Please let's confirm in the chat. Are we clear? What is saying anything? Yeah, the second one is actually better, yeah. Okay, so we have typography. Yeah. We all know what typography is. So use of typography, elements of typography as an element ensures clear, communication, establish information, hierarchy, and also reflect brand identity. I think from our first class, I gave example when we were treating a principle of design, we talked about typography too. So actually, for instance, the bold fonts emphasizes header, and the regular font is actually used for body text. For here, I use this UI UX design there, right? Yeah. So how are design elements used in design? This is actually my header, it's bold, it's standing out. Then the next thing can be a subheading, smaller. Then we have the body, followed by the body. And this body is actually smaller than the subheading. So like that. People can actually tell me, I don't know. So you can read more about elements of design, because this class is more like a practical class. You're going to read more about the elements of design. It's about value. I think that's basically value, and the ones I've mentioned in class. People can actually tell me the difference between elements of design and principle of design, because we know that we have treated this topic, and I feel like if we're on the same page, someone should be able to tell me what they understand by principle of design and elements of design. Right, Samuel. Samuel, you can unmute your mic and speak. If someone is not here, Ecom.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I think principles of design are like the rules, more like rules guiding design, like the rules to be followed while designing. While the elements of design are basically the things that make up the structures of a design. This is me trying.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I did try it. Thank you so much. Samuel.
Okay. The principles of design are those things that should guide a designer, or a designer should have in mind why he or she is designing, like balance and many other things. And then the elements of design are those ingredients of design, those things that are part of the designing. Like you mentioned, the line, the typography. So they are the things that should be part that makes up the designing. That if you want to describe the components of a design, those are it. That's it.
Thank you so much. Terry. A lot of people.
All right, good evening, everyone. Can I be heard?
Yes, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, just to be brief on it, just like what my other team members have said, elements are ingredients, and then principles are how we use those
Get
ingredients.
to know these ingredients from, please.
The ingredient that makes up a design or that makes a design complete, just like cooking. Then principles are how you get to use them, so they complement each other. So when they are properly used, we get a full and good design. That's just what I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, and you guys are all correct, but just like the old ingredients, I don't understand. But you're not far from it. So principle of design refers to how elements are used. You understand? Then elements refers to the building block of any design. And this building block can be shape, line, typography, value, space, etc. You can also say principle are set of rules and techniques for using the elements of design. Please, if we are clear, let's indicate on the chart. All right. Okay, we are not clear. Okay, we are clear. Just one person. Okay, today we're going to be looking at how typography are used in design too. So this is a very good example of like I mentioned for my explanation on typography. Yeah. So this is a good example of the use of typography here. So you have dragon ye, very bold, outstanding. They actually have like a small text that say the best gifts for the holiday. They actually have another section that says newest, maybe newest card or newest like upload or latest. So with time, when we're studying our design system, maybe probably in the next class, we'll be able to like understand how each of the elements are used and what each of the elements stand for. So I would like us to read more for our next class on the elements of design, because we are going to be going into Figma very soon. Then also the second design where you have build customer relation in a flexible way. It's more like the heading, written in bold. Then they have powerful, flexible, and data-driven as the body subheading, which is actually very small. So in typography, we have what we call H1 to H6. So the H1 is actually the biggest font. Then the H is essentially the smallest, like that, but we familiarize ourselves when we enter the design system properly. Then Godfrey, you have a question. Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
So I really want to contribute then on the card before, that's why I raised up my hand, not a question.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So who is familiar with Spotify and Airbnb? Please, if you're familiar. Okay. Nobody is familiar with it. Send it to Sin. Okay. So if you notice that, so this is a good example of the EK2. So this is a good example of what how elements of design are being used in a design. So I'm going to just look at Airbnb and Spotify for now. I look at Airbnb, how they made use of shapes and all that to actually convey information. And the color is actually calm. Looking at this, it's actually calm. They made use of white a lot, white space and all that. High quality image and also navigation, a clear navigation bar below, and also a button to convey their information. Then look at Spotify, bold color, standing out, rounded shape, enough white space, like enough white space. Look at the space between home and search, and the space between search and library. Then look at for Airbnb, the space in between. They made use of like a good spacing, a clear photo, like images, to actually create a clean and user-friendly interface. Looking at it, it's not overwhelming. Everything is properly placed. The elements, they made use of all the elements properly, and it's actually conveying the right information. You don't have to like start looking for things around. Everything is just in your face and just ready to be used. And so, you have a question.
Yes, ma. Hello, ma.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, ma, for taking you back, please. When you were saying about white space, there was a point at the point you were saying that minimal white space can create emergency. I don't really understand what you meant by that emergency, creating a minimal white
Urgency,
space.
not emergency, urgency.
Okay, urgency rather, please, urgency.
Yeah, so if your design is crowded, even you say we're going to be having headache looking at it. So you just have to like reduce the amount of elements that you put on a screen, so that it will be easier for your users to understand it, and it's will not like disturb their eyes to like work with. Exactly.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Any other question? Right. Okay. So we look at introduction to Figma today. We look at how the interface is structured. We'll be able to look at all the tools available on the interface. So who is ready? Can you see my screen? Please, if you can see can you see my Figma?
No, I can't see your Figma.
Henry, why are you not ready? People are not ready. So what are we going to do now? We should continue. We should go back to our research and use that story. That means they say they're not ready.
They are ready. They don't want to show it. That's why they're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Please, if you can hear me, unmute your mic and
Hello, ma.
yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you are not seeing your Figma.
Okay, sorry, I'll share now. Thank you.
All right.
The next minute, Henry is ready. The next minute, Henry is not ready again. Henry, choose your husband. He's not ready again. Please let me confirm that you can see my screen now.
No, I can't see your screen. I can't see your Figma screen.
Can you see it now?
No. Yes, I can.
Okay. And please, hope we all know how I got here. Let me just go back again. So on your dashboard, you have design file, I have FigJam file. So we have been working with FigJam for a while now. So you have to go to design file. So design file will take you to Figma file. Hope we are all clear. All right. Okay, you have a question.
No, we don't have a question. Sorry.
Okay, Uchenna, you have a question.
Yes, I have a question. Good evening, everyone. My question is on wireframing. I don't know if we finished wireframing, because and if we finish, can you just give us a little brief on the difference between low fidelity, mid fidelity, and high fidelity? Just the pinpoint between the three.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I will attend to you after this class, yeah? Just remind me. I'll just have to go over it again for those that missed the class.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So I will not take other people back. Okay, so this is welcome to Figma. Welcome to design stage. So after you're ideating and all that, you can now start designing. After you are done with your wireframe, you have understood how the structure of a design is going to look like. You have to start designing, but you cannot really design like that. You have to like come up with what we call the design system. But we're going to look into that in our next class before we can now start designing properly. But I just want to introduce you to what Figma interface looks like for those people that are not familiar with the interface, so that we can actually like come here and practice before we start designing properly. Are we clear? Please, are we clear? Okay. Okay, we are clear. All right. Okay. So this is, let me just clean my, close all this. Sorry, give me a minute. Jason, I have a question. Let me just clear all this so that. So this is what our Figma looks like. So you have your you have tools on top, and you have the left panel. You have the canvas. This is where you're going to be doing your drawing. Then you have your right panel. Then you have the center, the top center. You have the top center where you have your tool, where you can edit and all that. So I'll pick each of them and go over it. So we have our move tool, like our figure, we have our move tool. It's used to move elements around, objects around in our board. We also have our scale, which is used to reduce size. So I'll just take a shape here and just show the difference between move and scale. So I'm just going to add image here. Let me just put image and just, okay, let me just pick this. This is actually fine. Okay. So I'm going to duplicate this. I just want to show the difference between the move and scale. And so for the move, if I use to move elements around, just put my cursor on it and just move around. Then for the scale, once you click on scale and click on the elements that you want to scale, I can scale it down, and the elements will be the same without scattering or without spoiling. I can scale it to any amount, any size I want, sorry. But if I use the move tool, so I'm going to take it back to the, if I use the move tool, I'm going to spoil this image. It's going to look scattered. Yeah, it's not going to be same like when I scale it. Hope I'm explaining this and you guys understand it. So we just do Control Z. So to reduce your any elements on your Figma, is always scale. To scale, you reduce it without like affecting the element itself. I want to even scale to the element to be the same, just that the size have increased. But if I'm moving, if I'm using the move tool to reduce it, I'm going to like spoil the image. Yeah. So that's that about the scale and the move tool. I'm just going to delete this now. So here we have our frame and session and slides. So for frame, if I click on frame, I'm able to see different frame. You have phone frame, tablet, desktop, MacBook Air, depending on the screen that you're designing for. So for those people that are designing for an app, an application, sorry, you can actually use your phone. When you click on phone, you see different screen sizes for phone. If you're designing for Android or iOS, like that. So if you're designing for tablets, maybe you're doing a responsive design that users can actually see on their phone, see on tablets, and see on their desktop. You can actually come here and pick a tablet screen size. Then if you're designing for desktop, you can actually see different desktop size. And if you want to do a presentation, you can come here and pick a presentation, see slide size you can work with. If you're designing for a watch, yeah, the applications that actually work on wristwatches and all that, you can actually come here and pick a paper. You have A4, so when you're like writing or you want to write your CV, people that write their CV, a letter, you can actually write your letter here too. You can always come here and pick. Then you want to like design a banner maybe for your social media or all that, you can come here and take a social media banner. So each of these screen size is dedicated to a social media. So for Twitter, this is what Twitter will accept, this screen size. For Facebook and all that, so you just come here and pick. For Figma community, you want to add like an icon, profile banner. Even if you want to contribute, you can actually go there and work with. Then you have the shape tool. So this shape tool, you have your rectangle, the same like Figma, but this one is now on top. You have your rectangle, you have your line, you have your arrow, you have your ellipse, and you have your polygon star. You can also add image here. So from image on your laptop, you can actually click it here and you can add it from your laptop or your desktop. So this is, I just pick a shape from here. I can, depending on what you want. So at your own free time, you come and explore. Then we have a pen tool. Then we have a pencil tool. Actually, pen is used to draw, and the pen is just used to draw, depending on what you're working on. Then you have the text. So if you want to write, and just like write anything I want to write. Then you have your resources. If you're looking for anything, you can actually come here and search for anything that you want. It's more like I can get plugins, I can get widgets, I can get components and all that. Then you have a hand tool. So this hand tool is used to move elements around to, yeah. Then you have the comment tool. For your task, I've been commenting on your task, your submission, sorry. For those people that did well, for those people that shocked me, people that surprised me. Actually, you can use a comment. You can actually use it when you're working in a group and you feel like your group member is like when you enter the project phase and you're working in a group and you can actually comment for your friends to see maybe when they are not on the board, they can actually come back and look at it. Then here you can always rename, can duplicate, you can export, you can file color profile. I don't really know. Then you can add this whole Figma file to your favorite. You can delete and you can move. You can also rename. So let's so that then here you can spotlight yourself. Because you can be working at this body too much, and I want to show Dami something. I can just spotlight myself. Dami will follow me to the spots that I want to show her, maybe what she's doing or what I have done, depending. Then here you have your share. For some people that don't want to give us view access to their task, is when you come here, you see copy link here, but always make sure that anyone with the link can view. Set it to anyone with the link can view so that we can access it and grade you on time. Then this one is a feature for developers. So once your work is ready, it's actually a paid listing version. So once your work is ready, I can actually move it for ready for development. So once the developer comes, he'll be able to like see everything about your work. So you have your library here, you have your present. So when you're done prototyping and you want to see what your prototype looks like, you can always click on present to see. Then here you can actually reduce the size. You can actually zoom in and zoom out and all that. So on the left panel, we have a search, we have a layer, we have assets, and we have page. So for free version, I think you can have access to like 4 pages of the Figma file. So I'll just show you what this means. So I'm just going to take so anything I put on the right on the left panel will reflect on the right. So this actually shows that the width of this frame one now is Ekon, we have a question.
Yes, I do. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I wanted to ask about the difference, like the major difference between this the Figma app and then opening it on the web, because I realized that a lot of time, 90% of the time, it's easier for me to open it on the web than it is for me to open the app. And then when I'm able to open on the web, it's looking like some of the features that are on the app is not showing on, I don't know, it's not showing on like the web Figma that like that community that time. There was a time I was searching for community, how to.
Yeah. Are you there? What happened? Okay. Ekon, if you're speaking, we can't hear you again.
Uh-oh.
So it's the same thing, it's just different layouts. So most of everything is the same, just that maybe they're not placed the same way. Like that community, we have to go to a different place to find it, but it's just like all the elements are the same. The layout is just different. You just
Okay.
have to create, yeah. But I use both of them because I'm familiar with it. I don't really have a problem using anyone.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So anything that you put on your Canva the name reflects on the left, and you see the details on the right. So this actually shows that the height of this is 256 and the color is white. So everything, so even if I add a shadow, change the color, it's going to like reflect here. I'm coming to this side. So you have assets. So moment we start working with components, somebody's asking about what is component and what is variable. Don't worry, we'll get there. Let's take care of that. Let's take people small baby step. The moment you start creating components are more like sets of usable elements, something that you can actually use over time and use it again. So the moment you make it a component, to come to your asset, something that you own, you always come here to see everything that you have made a component or a variant. Then you have page. So here we have page one. When you want to submit this page, you have to click on the element here and share. You can always click and create another page. So let's find this one, shapes. Then we'll call this one components. So just playing around. Let me just leave it as page 3, like that. So you can create different pages. So you can actually, if for your task, you can actually work with one Figma, but create different pages for them and name them properly. So if I give you to like design a landing page, you can actually come to your first page and name your landing page and share the link. When I come, I'll see that it's the page one that you shared and I'll be able to see it and grade you. So if you're deciding to design an app, you can actually come to your second page and name it mobile app, and you design on the second page, then share the link and submit like that. So you can actually delete the pages. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the left. Okay, the right, sorry. My right. So for here it's this plus icon to add pages. I forgot to mention that. Then for the right panel, be able to see frame, be able to like select frame. So if I want to change, let me see if it works. I can actually change from here to any frame I want. If I want to make it a watch, let me see if I can get that. So you can always come and change here. Maybe you're working and you're not comfortable and you want to change it to a different screen size. You can always do that. I'm trying to find watch. Okay. Let's see again. Okay, I've seen it. You see, changes back to so this one is for desktop. So this is a desktop size like that. So that's that one about frame. So you have portraits. Let me just zoom out so that you can see. So you have currently I'm on landscape and I prefer to design on landscape. This is more like a desktop screen. Because what we are using currently now is a desktop screen. So I'll just change it to desktop. Yeah. So if I change it to landscape, it's more like the main size. If I change it to portrait, it's narrower like that. Then we have resize. I really made use of this. So you actually resize. I'm not sure. Yeah, not really made use of this. So you have so rotation. If I want to rotate it to 90, actually rotate it like that. I want to rotate it to 300, let me say 360. So you can actually change the rotation. If I want to add corner radius, I can come here and add corner radius, maybe 20, other corner radius to it. So this one is, let me just make this, let me just change the color. But I'll come to color. So if I want to like change it independently, like I just want the up side to like have a different corner radius, I can actually do that. Then I want this one to have 10, inside to have 10. You can actually change it independently by clicking here to change. So that's that. Then you have, so in our next class, I'll introduce layout grid. So this is for layout grid. It's not like grid margin, adding margin to your frame and your frame entirely. Then you have pass through, like opacity. You want to change it to 0, session to 0. Yeah, let's change it to 40. You can actually change the opacity of your color here. You can actually like remove it, use it to hide it, actually put it back. Then we have so we have color. So once you click here, you see fill. Look at the fill, you see fill. Once you click here, you're able to adjust different color that you want. You can also like adjust from here. You can also adjust from here and all that. You can also change the whether you want red, blue. I think this is basically for primary color, red, yes, red, green, and yeah, blue, yeah, something like that. You can actually change it from here, hex and all that. So most people prefer to use the RGB, most people prefer to use CSS. You just have to like find the one that's stable for the project that you're working on. maybe people prefer to use HBS. I will just find the meaning of each of them and send it on the chat. Yeah. So here we have, so for colors, you can adjust your color here. You can play around, that. So here's for white, I think, yeah. Around here, when you go down, it's dark and all that. In here, it's for grading. So I'll introduce that in the next class. So this is a solid color. This is to add like linear. So they will have linear, we have radial, we have angular, we have demo. So we're going to look at it and we'll start looking at gradients. Able to like play around with what you want here. And all that. So then here you can also add image from here. We don't want to left click. So once I add image, I have to go here. The images on mine will appear. So I'll just pick one. I'll just pick, and we just pick this. So you can add it from if you have images downloaded on your screen, you can always add from here instead of going to Unsplash. Then you can reduce the exposure, the contrast, the saturation, the temperature, the tints, the highlights, the shadow, and all that from here. You can always like adjust to suit what you are looking for. And all that. Then we also have, you can also fit here to fit it in everything. Let all the size of let everything enter the frame. Yeah. Then you can also crop. I want to crop out the side and just crop it out. Then you have tile. Try like help me with four variation of it. Yeah. I've not really made use of this. So let's do 100 and so this at 50. So let's do 20. Yeah, so you divide it into size 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So this is like that. And it's not necessary that you're going to make use of all of this. It's just for you to like familiarize yourself. So you can actually add video, but I think it's for the paid version. I've not really added video before. I think last time I tried to add video. Then you can see the colors I've saved before in my library. So that's that about the color. Then we have stroke. So I'm going to delete this and let's take a shape now. So let's add a stroke. So when you click on the stroke, be able to like add stroke. From here, you can also change the color of the stroke. You can also change the size of the stroke. So let's make it 5. So you don't want the stroke to be center. You want it to be outside like that. So let's make it 20. So if I want it to be inside. I want to be outside. So let's say center. Not really seeing the impact. So let's take it outside and take it inside. Like that. You can also change where do you want the stroke to appear. Is it on the top? Is it on the bottom? Do you want to customize it? You can also customize it to, let me see, let's put 10 here on top. Let's put 10 by the side. Let's put nothing there, and let's put 100 here. So you can always play around with your stroke. Then you have effect. So this where you're going to add shadow from. So we have drop shadow and linear shadow, background shadow, inner shadow. With time, be able to like understand each of them from our design system. Then here, once you're done with your design and you want to export, maybe you want to show your friend, you can come here. And so it's advisable to export 2S, but they feel like it's clearer and it's easier to download. Now, if you export 0.5, the quality might not really be good. If you export 1, might not really be good, but the best one to actually like export from is actually like 2S or 3S. But 4S might be too heavy for someone to boot. Then you can actually want to export it as PNG, JPG, SVG, or PDF, and just click the one that you want. For design, it's always advisable to export PNG, JPG. For your document, you can actually download as PDF. Then once you click on, so I'm going to change this to 12. Once you click on export, it's to export directly. You can now save it to your laptop. But if I don't want to export, I want to preview, I can just go here and preview. So that's that about that. Any questions so far? Any question? Okay. Okay, we are cool. Okay, it's over.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, please, I want to know, is there any significant difference between the portrait and the other one?
Landscape.
The landscape, thank you. I want to know, if one is designing, for instance, and you've picked a shape or a frame already, and you used the portrait instead of the landscape, does it have any significant difference on your design?
Yes, if your design is not responsive, you may not really be able to fit in. So that's why if you're not designing a responsive design, stick with landscape. But if you're designing a portrait, if you're designing on portraits, you can actually like scale to adjust. But if your design is not responsive and you do on portraits, if you play it, it might not fit in on a desktop screen.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank
If
you.
your
That's
design
clear.
is responsive, you can work with portrait, knowing that you can adjust to any screen, even mobile phone, you can adjust to it. But if your design is not responsive, that means you have to stick with landscape so that to be able to like fit in on your desktop, on your phone, or any yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Uchenna.
Yes, my question is, if you are uploading a picture from your desktop, is it always advisable to remove the BG, or it doesn't, or it depends on the work, or what do you think, ma? When using Figma?
Depends on the work. If it's something that you need the background of the picture, you can go with it. If you don't need the background, you can always remove the BG. Remove the background.
Okay, ma. And we have two ways of uploading pictures, from the fill side and the other aspects.
Actually, I have 3 from here too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, from there. Okay.
So once you are done designing, for instance, so let me just take out. I don't really want to go in depth today. So let me just so once you're done designing, so I'm going to duplicate this and maybe change the color here to green. So the moment I'm done designing and I want to prototype it, I go to prototype here. So once I click on prototype, I can now prototype whatever I want to prototype, but we're not going into that now. I just want to like show us now. So I'm just going to delete it. So that's that about that. Any other question before we call it a night? Okay, in the absence of no other question. Okay, Uchenna.
Please, what's the library used for? The library there.
The library. Where's the library again? Really images of the library, but sure that I can find anything I want from the library.
It's just close before the prototype.
Yes, I've gotten it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
I can use it to like search for like design. I don't know. Let me just search for maybe my design. I've not really made use of the library before. So let's see. Yeah, showing everything that I've worked on. Okay, let's say looking for something I can search for here. Don't really know. Let's see. I think it's just for work that I've saved before. I'm not sure. Okay, I will check it out and get back to you.
Okay.
Gifts. Gift, can I meet your mind?
Okay, good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Thank you, ma, for the class. I wanted to ask, how did you split those pictures? The picture, how did you split it, please?
How did I split it?
Yes, please.
Okay, I use tiles. So I'll just show you. Let me just okay, let me just use the shape here. I went here. I went to image, right? You can actually add image from Unsplash too. So let me just add this now. Then I went to tile. Then this is at 50%. I changed it to 20%. Yeah. If I change it to 5% to increase like that. Is that clear? Gift, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, Vincent.
All right. Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Please, ma, let's can we try our hand on deleting one shape, then see how we can bring it back? Because I normally find it difficult when I delete items and bring it back.
Okay, you're still having that problem. Okay, let's
Yes,
try.
ma'am.
So if I go to this drop down here, I'll see show version history, right? Well, this one was at 10, sorry, 8:10. Let's see. What's happening? Okay, restore this version. Let's see. Just why do you keep deleting stuff? Tell it to put a different page. Let's say right to work. Can't find people. I'm sorry. Vincent, I don't know how this works.
Yeah.
But I will look at it tonight and get back to you on the chat. No, I won't forget. Yeah?
Okay, ma'am. All right, ma'am. Thank you.
We have library and restore. Okay. What's that? Sorry. Very good. Fossa, sorry, Fossa.
Good evening, ma. Can you hear me?
Good evening.
Okay, so I wanted to know if you give us a task and we have different pages on the Figma. If we are to share, I want to share individual pages, or we can just share it and you see all the pages.
You can actually share individual pages or you can just share everything. So if I'm working on shape, I have to make sure that I'm clicking on shape to share. If I'm working on components, I should make sure I click on components to share.
Okay, what if we are sharing everything? Can we just You can just decide not to highlight anyone or what?
No, you can just like share. Don't need to highlight anyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just stop recording now. Then I'll take other questions.